We're live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra. In Kumasi, it's on Love 99.5 FM. We're live on over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. We are on A1 Radio, Dreams FM in Bogatanga, Kekeli Radio in Hololonyo FM in Hohoe, Radio Wa in Wa. We're live on your Spotify, Facebook, and myjoyonline.com app. This afternoon, Ghana's external debt balloons to $60 billion in 6 months. That's according to the minority, which is taking the finance minister on for failing to address the country's debt problem in the mid-year review.
For us to do this mid-year review and not see that as urgent, it's a matter of urgency. These guys don't see it. Your external debt has increased by $60 billion in 6 months.
We're hearing from an expert who is asking government to cut capital expenditure as a matter of urgency. Also this afternoon,
the completed road will be tolled. All new roads of this nature will be tolled.
Scrapping road tolls was like fixing a non-existent problem. This afternoon, experts are asking government to automate and expand coverage of new road tolling arrangement to increase its efficiency.
Nobody was complaining about this toll booth, the Temamoto way. I mean, everybody was paying and going. You don't have to have the manual toll booth to create traffic congestion and all that. Electronic.
We're hearing from the Ghana Toll Workers Union, which is accusing government of disregarding their interest in limiting the arrangement to just the Tema motorway and newly constructed roads.
Our expectations was not met. We went there hoping that our salary arrears will be touched on, that we'll be given a day that we are going to get paid, and then that will be given a day that all tolls in Ghana will be open so that we'll go back to work.
And we get to hear the mixed reactions from some drivers.
Besides that, road fund and a toll now. If you say a bear double taxation, so you're planning here, that's a young driver for you, and I'm quite so that's a quantity of papa. No, see, the problem.
And this afternoon, some mobile money vendors demand review of the e-levy tax as they say the high rate is deterring people from transacting business with them, leaving their business on the brink of collapse.
And yet, even the other time, me be saying this car was money for me friend, no. I say, "Mammy, saying I'll get them say e-levy a bit."
So at first it was going well, but since the e-levy come, it let the transaction come down a bit.
That's coming up in our Living Standard series. We have sports.
Well, ahead of Crunch meeting today, Kotoko Board of Directors have stated that they are unable to make any decision for Prosper Nata Ogum and the club's management while the two parties are at odds. We'll get back to you in 20 minutes.
And later in the bulletin, zoologists allays public fears that common fruit bat inhibiting Kumasi and Accra zoos may be carrying deadly Marburg virus, but warns public against compromising health safety protocols. We have that and more in this afternoon's edition of the Midday News with me, Emefa. Apawu, please stay for details. Many thanks for your company this afternoon. And Ghana's external debt has ballooned to 60 billion cedis in 6 months. That's according to the minority in Parliament, which is taking the Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta on for failing to address the country's debt problem in the mid-year review. Member of the Finance Committee, Kweku Ricketts-Hagan, revealed the country's debt has jumped to $420 billion and was expectant that the minister would address the House on ways of fixing that debt problem. He spoke on PM Express on the Joy News channel last night.
Because the balance of payment issue is the most critical issue if not addressed. Look, the debt that is going up, Ghana's debt today is at $420 billion around the world as a result of COVID and Ukraine, which basically happened everywhere. IMF is not everywhere. IMF is in Ghana because our debt is not sustainable and is basically affecting everything that is being done in this country. So for us to do this mid-year review and not see that as urgent, as he was talking, he said it's a matter of urgency. These guys don't see it. Your debt, external debt, has increased by 60 billion in 6 months. 60 billion, as I demonstrated to you, that our debt is now 400. If you are paying your debt with cedis, your external debt with cedis, that is how much you have to cough up. The Eurobond has dried up as a result of being downgraded. We are not able to go to the market. The cocoa syndication and the Eurobond was bringing about 3 billion in. Cocoa syndication is not coming in at the moment. Our export revenues are quite low. Therefore, our reserves cannot support the currency situation. And we may have challenges very soon paying our external debt. That is the problem that confronts this country at the moment. And if nothing is done about it, I can tell you that we will not survive in 6 months to even see an IMF program.
That's Kweku Hagan. He's a member of the Finance Committee of Parliament. Well, Senior Vice President of Policy Think Tank Imani Ghana, Bright Simmons, agrees. He's asking government to cut capital expenditure as a matter of urgency.
In the reverse position of the country, essentially we're running out of hard currency to pay for our external obligations and our imports. My concern is that with the IMF, as the two gentlemen in your studio, very eminent gentlemen know, you need to go through your debt sustainability analysis. You need to go through your letter of intent evaluation. On top of that, there has to be a memorandum of understanding. Those things don't come quickly. I don't see how you get that in 3 months, 4 months. And the problems that are facing us, you need a solution in 3 months at most. So that brings us to the African Bank facility and the syndicated loan facility. And as I've proven to you with extracts from the agreement, they are term sheets. They are merely indicative terms to now enter into a real agreement. You cannot do those in a month or two. Let me give a very quick example. Because we decided to go for roads. Roads are one of the hardest things to invest nowadays in because the funders would demand environmental permit, environmental and social impact, ESG, and those kind of things. No facility manager raising money from the international market, which is what African Bank does, will give you money for roads without for each of those roads showing them that all those environmental and social and governance factors have been addressed. That takes time. That takes time. I've seen road financing agreements from Nigeria where they have most of these things done and still take about 2 years to sort out financing. So if you decide to go and do roads and you put it in a term sheet like this at a starting point and still argue that it's a short-term fix to serious fiscal challenge, hard currency deficit situation that we face now, my suggestion is that you're not going to get the money.
That's Bright Simmons, says a Senior Vice President of Policy Think Tank Imani Ghana. Meanwhile, the minority in Parliament are demanding that the alleged 22 billion cedis printed by the central bank is added to the current debt stock of the country, currently standing at 393 billion cedis. Ranking member on the Finance Committee, Dr. Kesel Atofosin, says adding that to the debt stock will shoot it over 90%. Members of Parliament have started commenting on the mid-year budget review presented to Parliament yesterday. And parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante joins us on the line with more. Tell us exactly what the talk is in Parliament about the mid-year review.
So for the first time since the minister presented a mid-year budget review and the minority brought this allegation about printing of money, a deputy finance minister has responded to the minority side. According to John Kuma, the money expended from the Bank of Ghana is not cash printing. He leaves it at that. He does not explain, but he says the Bank of Ghana has not printed any amount of money for government to spend.
And are the minority taking this as an admission that indeed the allegations could be true?
So Isaac Adongo is yet to come in, but the indication we are getting is that the minority are going to push that government brings further and better particulars about these 22 billion cedis and what exactly they use it for.
But the deputy minister gave any indication as to whether this better and further particulars will be provided to Parliament?
He does not say that at the moment, but we understand even before Parliament rise, the minority will say that if government will not bring it, they will probably demand an independent investigation because they insist the Bank of Ghana should have informed Parliament exactly what this amount were going to be used for before they advance it to government, even if they don't accept that they've printed new money.
Well, aside from this issue, though, what else is on the table in Parliament, or it's all about mid-year review?
So before the commenting on the mid-year budget statement came up, there was a communication from the President, Akufo-Addo, who has now appointed 4 more new justices to the Supreme Court. This will mean that since President Akufo-Addo assumed office in 2017, he has appointed 15 Supreme Court judges. And so he has asked Parliament to expedite confirmation of these 4 new judges for them to resume work as judges.
As a result of pending and projected vacancies on the Supreme Court this year, the Judicial Council advised me on 4th July 2022 by letter under the hand of its chairperson, Chief Justice Emile Yeboah, of the suitability of my nominations for appointment to the court of the following persons in accordance with Article 144, Clause 2 of the Constitution of the Republic. 1. Justice Barbara Francis Akayensu, Justice of Appeal. 2. Justice George Kingsley Kumsi, Justice of Appeal. 3. Justice Samuel Kwame Adibu Asedu, Justice of Appeal. And 4. Justice N.S. Yao Gau, Justice of the High Court. Upon receipt of the Judicial Council's advice.
That's the Speaker of Parliament reading that communication from the President on appointment of judges by President Akufo-Addo. I'll take you back to the mid-year review and, of course, the reintroduction of tolling for the roads after PPA agreements are completed was key. And this afternoon, experts are charging government to automate and expand the coverage of the newly introduced road tolling arrangement to increase its efficiency and raking more revenue. Government had in the 2022 budget cancelled the collection of the tolls amidst the pushback from various groups, including the toll workers, the minority in parliament, amongst others. But after 7 months of suspension, the tolls are returning on selected highways. Listen to Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta as he introduced this during the mid-year budget.
The Ministry of Roads and Highways is currently under review by GIF, Ministry of Roads and Highways, the Office of the Attorney General, and the Ministry of Finance. When completed, the concession agreement is expected to be approved by the PPP Committee, Cabinet and Parliament. The completed road will be tolled. All new roads of this nature will be tolled.
Well, experts have been reacting. They say the scrapping of the toll was needless in the first place, but as government reintroduces them, they want the collection automated and expanded to other roads across the country. Dr. Daniel Asansu-Jambibi is Director of Building and Road Research Institute.
Then the fast-speed good roads are built by the private sector, US, and you see, you don't have to have the manual toll booth to create traffic congestion and all that. Electronic, some pass, you have it in front of your screen. Immediately you get there, it opens for you. Then we can, if we have 5 toll booths, we can leave one for manual. Those who don't live in the area and have come there, or the truck drivers who don't want to buy some parts, they can go and queue. See? So for me, I complain. When they send, I said, this is a big mistake because this is a green field. What we have is brown field. It's an existing one. In any case, let me ask you, you have a tax system that people are not complaining. Why do you scrap it and bring a new one? Nobody was complaining about this toll booth, the Temamoto way. I mean, everybody was paying and going.
But even before that happens, the Toll Workers Union, they're accusing government of disregarding their interest in developing this policy.
Honestly, yesterday, myself and some of our executives were present in the public gallery of Parliament. But we went there with some expectations. But unfortunately, our expectations was not met. We went there hoping that our salary arrears will be touched on, that we'll be given a day that we are going to get paid, and then that will be given a day that all tolls in Ghana will be open so that we'll go back to work. But unfortunately, that was not what we heard. What we heard was that there's going to be a PPP on some new routes, and on those new routes, toll collection will be effective on those roads. I mean, like tolls will be collected on those roads. So it's a bit unsatisfactory because the road that was mentioned, to be specific, was the Temamoto Way. And the Temamoto Way, as we all know, it cannot absorb about 800 workers.
I have the Deputy Roads Minister joining us on the line. But first, let's hear from minority in Parliament. They are demanding a public apology from the Finance Minister. They say his presentation was dishonest. Governs Kwame Agboja, ranking member on the Roads and Transport Committee, has been speaking to us.
What the Finance Minister said or tried to do is basically trying to smuggle tolling back without admitting the fact that they got it wrong. I would have been happier if the Finance Minister did what he did with the luxury vehicle tax. When it backfired, he came to Parliament and said, look, I got it wrong, and we repealed it. With the tolling of the road,
all he could have done was to say, look, we thought e-levy was going to generate an X amount of money. We are unable to generate that. We want to bring the toll back. We need the support and apologize to people.
That's Governor Kwame Agboja, ranking member on the Roads and Transport Committee. Thankfully, William Jalula, Deputy Roads Minister, joins us on the line. Are Ghanaians going to get this apology being demanded by the minority?
All right, thank you. First of all, I'm not William. I am Stephen Jalula.
Thank you very much. I beg you.
Yes, I think if I heard you right, the ranking member on the Select Committee on Roads and Transport has demanded an apology from the minister in charge of finance. I think that that is not the right position. His understanding of what the minister presented yesterday is not what actually the minister intended. When the minister came yesterday, he said, please, I'm getting some echo from the
Certainly
line.
not from here. We can hear you loud and clear, sir.
All right. So, but the minister in his presentation indicated that the government was going to do the Tema Accra motorway on a PPP basis. And after the road is done, it will be tolled because it's going to be a private investment or it's going to be done under concession. And that means that the investors need to pay it back. So if he says that we are going to toll the road, that is the PPP road. And he was very emphatic that going forward, all the PPP roads will be tolled. But it doesn't mean that the public roads that we see the collection of tolls on, we are going back to collect on those roads. That is not what he intended.
Okay, but do we agree that we got it wrong in the first place by scrapping the tolls?
No, this is a policy of the government. And the government decided that because of the nuisance and in some cases the pollution and the congestion that it was creating, it will be better we take it off. If the government in its own wisdom decides that we bring it back, they will be bold enough to present it to Parliament. And in this particular instance, that's not what we are seeking to do. And I don't think the government got it wrong.
Okay.
The law on the fees and charges has not been amended. They are still there. Just that the tolls have been zero rated, which means that any day the government could come back to Parliament and say that they want to charge tolls on our public roads and bridges.
Well, so this will be another the PPA, but where does this leave the now unemployed toll workers? You promised them monthly allowances, which are in arrears, and jobs which didn't seem to be coming. What happens to them?
Yeah, let me say that the disabled people came into the sector basically through my boss when he took over office in 2017, and then realized that they needed to be engaged to also contribute their quota to the development of the state. So he began, he asked the private road toll collectors at the time to engage the disabled people so that they could also work. Now, the engagement with the private road toll collectors ended in December. And as you are aware, it will lead to something else if we kept on paying these staff who were working with the private road toll collectors, because in the end, somebody may go to jail for causing financial loss to the state, because we do not have any contractual agreements with the private road toll collectors. So that is what is currently the case when we speak about the Disabled Association.
Well, we're grateful. That's Stephen Jalula. He's the Deputy Roads Minister. Now, we stay on roads because this afternoon, drivers who ply the motorway have greeted a government decision to reconstruct the Accra-Tema motorway and reintroduce tolls with mixed reactions. Some of the drivers, the government's decision to scrap the old toll was done in bad faith, and that has left the motorway in a deplorable state. But many welcome the decision to toll the planned 10-lane motorway when reconstructed.
Say a better double taxation because already fuel road fund wom. So what other toll again? And now always scrappy sad fuel tax and everyone sana wabeji toll na said yen toll in there. I saw a review na yeheni and yes I bear double taxation. Yen to mean to asa.
Sabi toya waya. Me get say tama ye too lane. Ayi ka ba ku sesi ba ku anaka ba ku. Ntema traffic ye den eba. Nti say waya half 5. I have 5. Na ye tana ebe bu aye. Eba ye nyina ye ho ba han aye. Sabi o mai kwan waya ebe ka me ebe ka wo ye nyina ebe fa so bi. Nti ye nyina ye ho ba den. Ye ho ba.
Nti ebe tu ato no.
What family be we? Sabi to na na ye di sese ya kwan.
So ye kwan ye. That's a young driver for you and Quano, so that's a quan ya papa. No, see young chia, ye the problem.
Tama Obabe Jaitono, on Gigito Biono, one carry and saying, on one ordinary pet, and I see me Gitana or Tajito Biono. I want to do a seminar, Yaka.
So, well, my colleague Papani Ashali has just returned from the Akratama motorway. He joins me in studio. Essentially, what are these drivers saying?
So they welcome the decision, first of all, because there's a promise at the back of it that we are going to rehabilitate the road. Now give you more lanes so you can apply this normal speeds without fear that your vehicle is going to be and cause some damage at the end of the day. So they welcome it, but they still wonder why you took their tolls in the first place and you're now reintroducing it. But anyways, they're still welcome.
They talk about e-levy as well?
Well, not specifically e-levy though, but they talk about other levies that are on fuel that they were expecting to hear something from the finance minister yesterday, and they were disappointed that didn't come up at all in the statement he read, 25-page statement.
Well, we'll take a quick breather here on the Midday News, live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra, in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM, and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. We've been talking about Ghana's external debt that has ballooned to $60 billion in 6 months. Well, that's according to the minority, which is taking the finance minister on for failing to address the country's debt problem in the mid-year review. When we return, we have sport, and then some mobile money vendors are demanding review of the e-levy tax, as they say the high rates is deterring people from transacting business with them.
And yet, even the other time, me be saying this car was money for me friend, no. Or say my mean saying I'll get them say e-levy a bit.
So at first it was going well, but since the e-levy come, it let the transaction come down a bit.
Akwaba, but Akwaba Magic Busia, brand new channel, Tia Robber, Emuno Tiao, DSTV channel 149 and Go TV channel 108. Any Akwaba Magic Busia, Eddie Nidia Ghanaian programs mu Baufi, a bit said the day to have and to hold, and Senior Cassia series and talk show, Bemoaka TV set Akwaba Magic Busia, DSTV access to your 50 Ghana cedis per and Go TV value to your 25 Ghana cedis per Ebusia Akwaba.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. And Razak Musbao has the latest from the world of sport. Hello.
Hello, Emefa.
What do we have?
Well, an Asante Kotoko board member, Yao Edu, has urged Dr. Prosper Nata Ogum and the club's management to find solutions to their problems. The two parties have been at odds, with disagreements over player transfer being widely reported as a root cause. A club meeting yesterday that included the two parties as well as the club's board of directors failed to achieve its goal of finding solutions, and Yao Edu suggests that Kotoko board cannot make decisions for the deal.
If only the two of them calm down, they could work together and they could resolve any issue between them. As an elderly person and as a board, when there is an issue, your staffs are at loggerhead. You have to bring peaceful settlement before anything. But we are not obliged to mandate anybody not to take any action. So that one, it shouldn't come from our end. It should come from the two parties themselves. That is why we did not rest at all.
Well, so that's what's developing in the camp of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. We wait to see how all of that pans out.
Thank you very much, Razak. Well, the Chief Executive Officer of the Northern Development Authority and the Coordinator for Special Initiatives at the Jubilee House, amongst others, have been granted bail for their involvement in alleged corruption at the authority. This was reviewed in a statement issued by the Special Prosecutor, Kisi Jabin, a while ago. Joining his editor, Araba Kumsing, has a statement and joins me in studio with details. What more does the statement say, Araba?
It reads that on 30th June 2022, the Office of the Special Prosecutor commenced investigation into suspected corruption and corruption-related offences in respect of a contract awarded by the Northern Development Authority to A&Q's Consortium for Consultancy Services under the Infrastructure for Poverty Eradication Programme, especially in respect of the quantum of the contract sum. And on 1st July 2022, the Special Prosecutor directed the Controller and Accountant General to immediately freeze payments arising from the contract. The Special Prosecutor has invited the Coordinator for Special Initiatives at the Jubilee House and several serving officers, including the Chief Executive and relevant past officers of the NDA and officers of A&Q Consortium for questioning. All the invited persons have been placed on bail.
Thank you very much, Araba Kumsing, with that statement from the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Now, mobile money vendors say their businesses are on the brink of collapse as the unwillingness of their customers to pay the electronic transaction levy leaves them with significantly reduced transactions and low income just 4 months after the implementation. They want the tax policy reviewed. Mamesi Nyameche Thompson has been interacting with some of them for our Living Standard series today.
To begin his day, Joseph, a mobile money vendor at the Circle station, punches through his phone. Joseph has been struggling to keep his customers for the past 4 months. He claims that many of them have decided to keep their cash in their wallets. He attributes his predicament to the implementation of the electronic transaction levy.
Well, at first it was going well, but since the e-levy let the transaction come down a bit. They are not coming like how they come as previous because of the e-levy, because the education does not go well with the customers, and so we the vendors, we have to come out again and explain to them that the e-levy doesn't affect withdrawal. At first, people deposit their money into their wallets, and later, anytime that they need it, then they will come and withdraw it. But now they say they will keep it in the house because of the e-levy.
Before the levy, he used to transact more than 50 mobile money requests daily, apart from selling call cards. But now, the numbers have reduced to 20. On bad days, he gets even less. He is frustrated with the slow pace of business.
15. Less than 20. People are coming, like for instance, if there are 50 people come daily, if I get like 20 Ghana on it, now that they drop to 15, it affects me a lot. Because whenever they do withdrawal, I get a profit. So when they are not coming again, I'm not getting any profit.
That's our Living Standard series. The full version airs later tonight on Newsnight and also on the Joy News channel. Now, 2 journalists and a driver of our sister station, Love FM, have been attacked by some men claiming to be security personnel at the Sewia Regional Hospital in the Ashanti region. The media personnel had gone to the hospital to file a report on the deplorable nature of the road leading to the hospital when the attackers assaulted them. There's more in this report.
The Sewia Hospital is almost complete and has since not been opened to the public. According to the Ashanti Regional Minister, Simon Osei-Mensah, delays in opening the health facility stems from a lack of power supply and road accessibility.
We might even have access to the regional hospital at Sewia, which is also at an advanced stage. For that place, even equipment have been installed. So definitely, that place we have one challenge, or maybe 2 challenges, major challenges. The first one is power. They need their own substation. They cannot use the means that we have there now. They have to have their own substation. And that is what we are working on, ECD and Ministry of Energy. And then the other one is access road, which Mr. Kofi Job is also assisting in the construction.
Love News had set out to highlight the poor link road keeping the regional hospital from being opened. At about 11:30 on Monday, 2 men purported to be security personnel of the Sewia Hospital approached a reporter, photojournalist and a driver of Love FM when they noted they had come to the facility to film. The journalist and his colleagues had gone to film the road linking to the hospital, which had stalled for years now. The men, whose names are yet to be identified, started filming the journalist for a supposed breach of taking shots of the facility and denied them access to seek permission from the authorities. They, as a result, sacked them from the premises. While they evacuated the premises, the watchers violently attacked the media personnel, attempting to smash the passenger window of their vehicle.
That's a report from Kumasi. While an expert in zoology is allaying public fears that the fruit bats commonly seen inhabiting the Kumasi and Accra zoos may be potential causative agents of the deadly Marburg virus, which is spread through fluid contact and eating of bats. Dr. Paul May Zeka has been speaking to us on it.
You are referring to the current reported outbreak of Marburg virus disease that has been reported by Ghana Health Service. Actually, it is not this type of bats that is supposed to be carrying or to be the suspected host.
Fear not. And that's how we wrap up or end today's edition of the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com, and Koku Anidoho's name on a Tamil's bust must be dropped. That's according to Professor Jampo. Ajwa Safo will be in Ghana this week. That's according to the aid, and BOG has printed 22 billion CDs without parliamentary approval. Dr. Atufo alleges that and more on myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa, Apawu. Many thanks for your company. We have a living word with Pastor Mensah. Please stay for it and have a good afternoon.
Isn't life wonderful when everything worth doing is scheduled? Hitting the stop button on your alarm just in time for your morning jog. That's happy moments listening to your baby's heartbeat at the doctor's office. Or an arranged virtual meeting with that big client.
Buy airtime ahead of time with scheduled airtime service on MTN Momo. You can schedule your airtime purchase of any amount daily, weekly, or monthly by dialing *170# option 3 and follow the process. Or simply dial *170*311# for a superb airtime purchase experience. You enjoy 100% bonus airtime anytime you recharge yourself with MTN Momo. Keep on talking with that 100% feeling. So, what are we doing today?
MTN.
Feel the beauty of the African continent on Adansi Travel's 9th Wonder African Tours. Join me, Winston Amwa, host of the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, as I explore 2 beautiful cities in Africa from the 11th to the 19th of August 2022. First, we go to Addis Ababa, where we get the opportunity to see the famous Entoto Park, which is a historical sanctuary of the Ethiopian people with a taste of modernity. Then we go to Cape Town in South Africa, where I take you to the V&A waterfront, and oh my God, you can't miss this. A must-visit place is a must-see place. You will be spoiled for choice. Over 80 eateries, over 500 retail stores with the iconic Table Mountain as a backdrop. Charlie, what are you waiting for? Write these numbers down and let's go have fun. 0595 500 817 or 055 6310 404, or visit Adansi Travels website at dansitravels.com. Adansi Travels, feel life's beauty.
Hello, Joy Businessman. My name is Shika Fredri Ameni. I'm the CEO of Easy Cuisine. You are most welcome to our production center. I was just sitting in exactly this very chair, relaxed, wanted to have some rest, alone in this house. And they just dropped that. Don't you think ginger is a bit cumbersome when working with, and then garlic as well? When women are given the opportunity, when you work with it, don't you think it will work well with you? I just said yes, and that was how it dropped. I just started with some small money, about 500. I came home and I bought just a sack of ginger, and I produced about 70 pieces of the ginger in the jar. I was so excited. I felt so fulfilled that I have been able to let the dream become a reality.
Talk